What do you do when a red-hot growth stock momentarily loses its mojo? The underlying company's growth looks like it may be plateauing, and then the shares get pounded. That's the question. Fiesta Restaurant Group, FRGI. That's the once hot, now not so hot parent company of Pollo Tropical and Taco Cabana, the former being a Caribbean-themed chain, the latter serving authentic Mexican food. From May of 2014 to February of this year, Fiesta, well, let's just say it was on fire, rallying from $35 and change all the way up to $69 at its peak. Since then, though, the stock's been hurt. It's down 26% to 50, mostly 50 and change. Mostly because in February, the company delivered a quarter that some people thought were less than perfect. And when you're dealing with a high-flying stock that has an exalted valuation, anything less than perfect can be dangerous. Many investors said maybe growth slowing. Fiesta then again reported last Thursday, and it delivered a 1-cent earnings beat off a 38-cent basis. Some said it was slightly weaker than expected revenue, up 12.7% year-over-year, as well as a 6.4% increase in same-store sales in Pollo Tropico, 3.8% increase in Taco Cabana. Once again, no guidance, so people didn't like it. Stock had plunged 15% in the week before, though, and the results were better than many people feared. Now, I don't know. We got to take a longer-term view here. Fiesta is very much about new store growth. Excuse me, and particularly at Pollo Tropical, which has 167 locations. Management plans to open 26 to 28 new ones in 2015, 20% store growth. So the story of growth remains intact. Question is, has it come down enough to buy? Let's check in with Tim Taft. Okay, he's the president and CEO of Fiesta Restaurant Group. Find out more about the quarter and where his company is headed. Mr. Taft, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, Tim, we got to solve this problem. Because to me, there was no slowdown. I think the expectations got so high that it really didn't even matter what number you picked. You think I'm right?
I think you're right. I think that, one of the things that we've heard is that, wow, Pollo Tropical and your transactions have slowed down a little bit, and that was cause for panic. But we don't agree with that. And if you're a watcher of this stock, you saw the same thing happen in first quarter of 2013 for similar reasons.
Well, let's go over it, though, because in the conference call, you did mention that you felt that there was some issue. Some of the stores had, you said, a little bit of pinch because of the Affordable Health Care Act. And I would think that your combination of stores is so strong that you would not feel that level of pain.
Well, Jim, I think there's two things going on. First of all, the three counties that we're talking about, Dade and Broward and Palm Beach counties, those are the three busiest, highest volume restaurants in our system. And those three counties had 750,000 people sign up. So when you take, if that was a state, it would have been third in the union. So you have a lot of people signing up and a lot of people in our busiest areas momentarily trying to figure out how are we going to pay for this. And we believe it to be a momentary issue and that things will rebound.
Okay, now how much of a effect I propounded this thesis, Tim, and I got to tell you, it did seem to play out when I looked at the stocks. How much do you think happened is that all the restaurant groups sold down because gasoline bottomed?
I think that's a big part of it. I think if you listen to all the earnings releases and look at all the results, that the restaurant industry, by and large, has been affected negatively.
Now, let's talk about this third concept, because I know it was brought up several times in the conference call. I think it's really important because you're a great operator, but you've only put up two of them, this Cabana Grill. I mean, if this is really good, isn't it time in, say, second half of 2015, start putting up a lot of stores?
Well, I think that it depends on what you want to achieve by it, Jim. The first one that we opened up, we learned a lot. We opened up our second one. The thing that we're finding very, very exciting, and I know that you've already covered what's going on with Taco Cabana, but one of the greatest things that's coming out of Cabana Grill is the fact that we're learning how to build a less expensive Taco Cabana, lowering our cost of entry into the marketplace, and at the same time really getting innovative with our food. So all of that learning that we have with Cabana Grill is going into Taco Cabana. I think that the opportunity for Cabana Grill is still untapped, but it's a test. Pollo Tropical over the last 10 years has had 4 or 5 or 6 iterations of itself. Right. This is the first one out of the box.
No, I know. One of the things you caution us on is don't just keep adding stores for the sake of adding stores. That doesn't work. Buffalo Wild Wings, excellent company, talked very plaintively about chicken prices and how much it hurt them. You do a lot of chickens. Chicken under control for you?
Chicken it's under contract for the remainder of the year. I think that there's still an opportunity if chicken goes down that we still have the opportunity to move some volume to another supplier. But we're locked in for our pricing for the rest of the year.
Okay, and so therefore I don't have to worry about bird flu or anything like that. That's going to be so hopefully solved by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that people have to understand is that the amount of birds that were affected, relatively speaking, as a percentage is a small amount of birds. And second, that industry does a very, very good job of making sure that whatever happened, that they can police that issue out of it.
Okay, now last week we were in San Francisco. We saw a lot of technology. One of the things that we saw that was kind of basic but is working is this Postmates. I mean, do you seem to be, you have stores that are in areas that I would think would work perfectly with Postmates. Is that something worth considering?
It is. But I think that the laundry list of things that we have right now is really, we've got 10 or 15 things that might be in the queue before we head that direction. Okay.
Do you think we should just kind of step back? I mean, I felt like the decline. I get a lot of questions at Jim Cramer on Twitter saying, Jim, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. You are a restaurateur, sir. You have been around. You totally understand it. This is just another kind of just a couple of month interlude in a longer term scheme, right? I mean, I'm urging people to stay patient.
Jim, a very wise board member said to me recently, with respect to the PE ratio, that the shareholders dictate what the P, and the management team, all they can do is earn the E. So what we're doing right now, there is not a single initiative over the last 4 years that we have not accomplished on time or ahead of time, and the results thus far are better than anybody really thought that we could achieve. This management team has its head down, it's grinding, there is no panic here. This is, our plan is being executed, and we're at that phase in our existence or evolution that, you know, what we're doing right now is just making, stacking them on top of each other, one quarter better than the one before the one before that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's this kind of sense of on or off, like you're either the old Fiesta Restaurant Group or you're McDonald's, which I know from Carol's you would probably think is a little bit harder to fix, isn't it?
Well, I think, first of all, some people often overlook that we have two brands. And
right.
One, we're very, very proud of what's going on with Taco Cabana, which right now is the larger of the two. People kind of lose track about how well Taco Cabana is doing. Pollo Tropical, one thing to keep in mind. A year ago at this time, we were all high-fiving each other and celebrating the fact that we were achieving sales and volumes that never had been before seen. We are exceeding those now.
Right.
So it's not necessarily a reason to be doom and gloom about this.
Well, I'm glad you put that there. I feel the same way. I think that periodically you get these rotations. We could be talking to any number of restaurants and they'd be saying the exact same thing. I think you guys are on a very great, defined, long-term growth path, which is what you need. Tim Taft, President and CEO of Fiesta Restaurant Group. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
Guys, there's nothing wrong. Stop panicking. Stop bothering me on Twitter, please. Fiesta Restaurant Group is fine. It's just taking its time, but it's going to get back, and then more some. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.